Welcome back, everybody. This is Chewbacca, and this is going to be a tutorial on the GoHo strategy at Town Hall 9. I managed to pull off 2 3-star attacks in one war on their number 2. And I want to go ahead and show you guys my troop composition and also my spell composition, because I actually use different spells on each base. So I want to start with a proper scout of the bases here so I can explain why I used different spells. On any GoHo attack, there's basically 2 stages, and the first stage is your kill squad, which is made up of golems, witches, wizards, and your heroes. And the kill squad basically has 2 objectives. The first objective is to kill the clan troops. The second objective is to kill the heroes. And your third objective is to set off as many of the big bombs as you can, if if possible. Excuse me. So I looked at this base and I knew that these are probably Teslas, and I knew that there was no space for a big bomb in these compartments here. So I was like, this is probably where their big bombs are, and they're probably both double big bombs, which, as you know, will always kill any hog raid if you don't trigger it first. So I decide, rather than attacking from the top and attacking the heroes from that side, I'm going to try to attack from the bottom. So I go ahead and I bring 4 earthquake spells so that I can open up this compartment, and that way I still get in far enough to reach the clan castle troops and to reach the heroes. And I went ahead and I used earthquake spells instead of a jump spell because I wanted to make sure my troops went that way. And I've said this before in previous videos, jump spells seem to come off as a suggestion to your troops, whereas an earthquake spell says, hey, go this direction. So that's why I did that on this base. So let me go ahead and start this replay and we'll see how this goes. So I want you to go ahead and take a look at the composition here. I have 25 hogs, 7 wizards, 4 wall breakers, and I have 2 witches, and I have 1 golem, and then the other golem is in my clan castle. And I have my heroes. I brought 2 heals, a rage, and then those earthquake spells in order to open up that compartment right there. And I've seen people use different troops as like the remaining 5. I went ahead and brought a giant on this one in case I needed to try to trigger those big bombs. In the case that my kill squad didn't, but it ends up I don't really need it at the end. So let me go ahead and just start this replay. So my first stage obviously is the kill squad. So I'm placing my giants and making sure that they get targeted. I'm placing my wizards to get rid of all of those extraneous buildings that are going to distract my heroes. The goal is to get your heroes into the center of the base so that they can take out the clan troops and take out the enemy heroes. So I use those wall breakers to open up the initial wall, and this really works out well because as I place my witches, which also I place at the same time as my queen, which is definitely a plus. I've seen that in other people's strategies as well. But look at that. Those skeletons set off those traps, which is just gold right there. And I go ahead and I earthquake those walls in order to open it up. I notice that these clan castle troops are just destroying my base. I mean my attack, so I make sure to throw down a rage right there. But as you can see, I can see that the enemy heroes are dying and that the clan castle troops are dying, so I begin to launch my hogs on both sides. And my goal is that they'll both meet in the middle. I'm trying to avoid my hogs from just going in one big random circle. So as you can see, I placed them on both sides. I placed those heal spells because really, without the fear of any big bombs, my only fear is that the wizard towers will do some mass area damage because the mortars are too slow. So I go ahead, I use those heal spells near the wizard towers, but as you can see, my hogs are too much for their wizard towers. And see how I still have parts of my golems alive. I have both my witches still alive, and most importantly, my queen is still alive. And that's really just a huge advantage at this part when it comes to cleanup. And that's where those witches really come into play, is protecting that queen. And of course, my hogs are running around ignoring any of the walls, which is one of the biggest pluses to the hogs, is that you just don't have to worry about getting snagged on those walls. And as you can see, this is just a matter of cleanup, and I don't end up needing that giant that I had. And you know, this strategy just has so many troops, and that really is probably the hardest part to it, but as you can see, it's very rewarding if pulled off successfully. So let's go ahead and look at base number 1 here. I went ahead and actually watched the attack on 5 on their side because they had the same layout as their number 1. And so I know that actually he's got his big bombs in between these spaces right here. And I know that he's got that dragon in his castle because he doesn't have the 30 capacity for a lava hound. So I go ahead and I know I'm going to attack from this side. That way I get the clan castle troops, I get the queen, and I go ahead and I bring a jump spell so that hopefully my guys can get over here to the king and distract him at least enough for my hogs to finish up cleaning. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and watch this attack. So as you can see, my spells are a little bit different. I bring those poison spells, and I use that giant this time for the lure. So here they come out, and I begin to place my poison spells. And whenever you're trying to kill a dragon with poison spells, you have to use 2, and you have to be patient. You have to give some time in between the 2 placements of your poison spells. So as you see, I'm taking my time, watching that HP continue to go down and down. And as you can see, the queen is taking a little bit of damage there, but really not that much, which is sort of disappointing on my end. I wish that poison spells would be more effective against enemy heroes. I think that would make more sense. But as you can see, it doesn't even really make a dent. So now I come to the kill squad stage where I'm placing my golems, I'm placing down my wizards to get rid of those extra buildings. And luckily enough, that Tesla caused my golem up there to trigger that. And as you can see, he's taking a beating from that queen, so I'm really trying to make sure I get in there fast. And of course, once that collector's gone, I'm placing those wall breakers to open it up, place those witches and the queen at the same time once again, place that king to make sure he gets in there and starts doing a beating. And of course, here goes the target of the queen, which my queen is no match for hers. I mean, her queen is no match for mine. Anyway, there goes the jump spell to make sure my troops get in the middle. And now I'm beginning to place my hogs, and I place them once again on separate sides so that they meet over here. And I'm trying to avoid them from going in a huge circle. And as you can see, I'm sort of slow on my deployment of hogs. I want to make sure they're not dying. I want to try to trigger the other big bombs if I can with the least amount of hogs. But I go ahead and I place the heal spell to make sure that once they trigger those bombs that they don't die. As you see, I have a few hogs left, so I place them over here by that cannon. But overall, I'm really pleased with my attack. My queen is still alive. My witches are still alive. My hogs have managed to take the beating from the king and survive. But I placed that last heal spell there as a last resort, just to make sure that they make it to the finish here. And as you can see, there goes the king, and now it's just a matter of cleanup. And if you guys know other ways to go about this, other comps that you found successful, go ahead and comment below. And let me know if you guys are liking these tutorials, if you want to see more attacks on different layouts, if you'd like for me to try out any new strategies. Just go ahead and comment below. I'm happy to communicate with you all and try out new things and see what's going to be most beneficial to everybody out there on the Clash community. But as you can see, I'm really just waiting for the cleanup here, and those goblins could have helped on the storage right there, but I knew I had enough time and I had enough troops that were going to take it out. But yeah, there goes 2 successful GoHo strategies in 1 war. Very pleased with that, and I hope that you guys are pleased as well when you attempt the same strategy. So until next time, I'll see you guys later.